folks, this is episode number 2. Jesse, how are we looking on time here? We have 5 minutes.
Here's what I would like to talk about.
Yeah.
Because this is something you sent me this week that is great. Facebook moderators, what they have to go through. The Verge article, it basically says that there's 15,000 Facebook moderators out there, and they sit in front of a computer. These videos pop up, which are like the most appalling videos you've ever seen in the world, and they have to decide on a split second whether or not that should be on Facebook or not.
Right.
And these people have, like, obviously what is an awful job, and they're not paid that well, and there's obviously not enough of them, and it's just a fascinating article. So what do you think about that?
So what Kid Chronic's referring to is there's a company called Cognizant, and I guess they're outsourced. Facebook outsources this company that has just regular folks. I mean, this is also what's strange about it is there's no real skills required to do this or anything like this. So what people do, and like he said, I mean, 15,000 people, I think, between a couple of locations, they look at all these Facebook posts, Facebook Lives, and have to make decisions, like he said, pretty quickly on, is this going to get trashed? What do we got to do with this? Whatever. Apparently, it's tremendous amounts of violence, whether it's violence with animals, violence with people, murders, terrorist stuff. It's just it's like this barrage of, it's like watching Saw or Hostel over and over and over and over again. I think it would scar your brain. There's something totally bad about that if this is your job. It's like, I always wonder why people became fucking corrections officers. Like, why would you ever do that? It seems so bizarre to me. Yeah, like that's your job. So I think people that do this too, it's very interesting. So there's been many articles written about it. There's some whistleblowers now coming out as well. So Facebook's now got to defend themselves on this. Deplorable working conditions. They make these people sit there. It's kind of like like slave driven in a way, not allowed to get up for the bathroom and all this. And it's just, you just got to sit there and like a bot would do, but you're a human bot, so to speak, and you have to go through all of this terrible, terrible material and disseminate it. And
what I thought was really fascinating, too, is the Facebook lie. Because I talked about it, and I believe the Facebook lie, that most of their moderation is done by bots. And I think the first wave is done, somebody complains, and then you can choose whether or not to appeal it, and then it goes to these moderators. But it really is it's a human system. Facebook does not have this super high-tech system that is going through this content. There are people sitting there judging the worst content in the world, and they said that Facebook would be like this awful place if all this content got through. And so we really have to analyze that. Like, if it wasn't for this wall, like the ice wall in Game of Thrones of 15,000 people keeping all this content off of Facebook, it would literally be filled with murders and terrorist attacks, stabbings, people torturing animals, slow deaths they said that they saw on there.
Suicides.
It was really, really disturbing.
Well, first of all, it also tells you that humanity is fucked. I mean, like, why is there this much violence? Why is there so much of this that these people even have to look at, that 15,000 people? Think about that.
They're not even violent. They want to broadcast it. They need to show it off.
Yeah, and which, by the way, it's I think leads to more of it, because if you want to, you have a platform for it, so you're more likely to do it now. And I think Facebook Live is
the Verge
it's an interesting concept.
Article was written by, I don't know, some guy who must be like, a 40-year-old virgin, because he's like, people are having sex in the hallways and people smoke bowls in the parking lot. And he was like so disturbed by it. And I'm like, what the fuck does this guy think goes on at every other company in America?
Right.
Like, that's just another day at the office in this country, buddy.
He thought that was just a Burning Man.
One of the really fascinating pieces of it, too, was they interview the employees that worked at this place where they get paid fucking nothing. They get treated like shit and they do a god-awful job. And what is their number one goddamn request? They just wish other Facebook employees would look at them as peers, because that's how big and cool Facebook is in their marketing and whatever. They just want to be a part of the real Facebook. So they will sit there and do all the horrible work that the real Facebookers don't do. Well, the coders are up there on yoga mats freaking working 2 hours a day and like getting free lunch.
Yeah, they're being hand-fed Kobe beef.
Yeah, exactly. Getting palm frond.
There's actually a huge disparity in pay as well. These people get paid shit to do this. So you get to ruin your mind and your brain. You get to see
But then they come to Facebook and they want to break Facebook up. So if Facebook is going to outsource something, why not outsource the worst fucking job in the world?
Yeah, just imagine that this is a job. That the people that they have to sit and moderate all this terrible stuff. And,
if you go to war and you're involved in a shooting situation or a few shooting situations and some people die, quite often you can have PTSD. I don't know enough about, watching videos, but if you watch murder videos for 2, 3, 4, 5 years straight, 40 hours a week, I mean, it's got to make you at least kind of bummed out. I mean, depressed, sad. It's kind of make it change your view of humanity at the least.
Well, yeah, and it's the same way when people go off to war. They go and fight in battle, whatever. The reason why they're coming back with PTSD is because of all the death that they're seeing. It's not because they went to Iraq. That's not the problem. It's not the country that they went to. It's all the carnage and the death that they experienced, and that's hard to get out of your head. So for that to be,
it reminds me of, you ever seen the movie Clockwork Orange? It's like a Stanley Kubrick movie.
Of course.
And they hold his eyes open and force him to watch all this horrible stuff until he like can't do horrible things anymore. That's almost like with the job of being a Facebook moderator.
Yeah, that's like Nazi Germany, crazy, what do you call it? I'm drawing blanks today for some reason. Crazy experiment shit. But yeah, I feel bad for people that work at this place. Go find another job, please. Go drive for Uber or something.
It sucks too because they sign confidentiality agreements. So it's not like afterwards you can be like, oh, I was a Facebook moderator, and you even get that credibility. You don't even get that. If anything, this should be an on-shoot into working for the main Facebook company. But Facebook probably looks at it like, damn, we don't want to take those broken people. They know all the worst shit about us. Get rid of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We got to stay up here in our hunky-dory PC, $1 billion Facebook office.
It's all going to come home to roost for social media, folks.
I don't think that social media is going to be this big part of our future. I think it's peaking right now with Trump. I really do. And I think that we grew up, we had a phone that was tethered to the goddamn wall. Okay?
Right.
Now we have a whole movie studio in our pocket that's attached to all the technology in the world. And we're just starting to use this technology. We're just getting used to it now. So in the future, do you think our kids are going to be pouring everything onto Facebook, running around taking videos of everything, sitting at a concert, not even watching the concert, just videoing it to make a video that nobody else is going to fucking watch on Facebook? No, all that dumb shit's going to go away, and people will settle into a normal relationship with technology, hopefully.
Yeah, I agree.
And then AI will kill them, but that's another story.
Yeah, this will get old at some point. Yeah. Well, let's hope it does, because this is all going in a kind of a negative direction. So, folks, you are listening to episode number 2. This is Ruthless Politics with Kid Chronic
and
Treez. And we appreciate you listening. Folks, we got social media that you can, Mr. Josh W., you can find me on Instagram and Twitter.
You can find me at PJZNY across social media.
We appreciate that you listen to the second podcast. We will have a third and a fourth and a fifth. There's no end in sight for us. Politics is ruthless out there. So,
and it's not getting any better. We'll see you every Tuesday, folks.
All right.